News, analysis, commentary, and debate. This is the Wells Report. We are starting with the front page. It's a digest of news that we missed over the weekend or since the last broadcast. There was a serious shooting. It was terrible. It was tragic. 3 black people killed by a 21-year-old racist. This from USA Today. Hundreds of people gathered Sunday to remember and mourn the loss of 3 black people fatally shot in what authorities say is a racist attack in Jacksonville, Florida. Authorities say the suspect, a 21-year-old white man who wore a tactical vest carrying an AR-15 style rifle and a handgun bearing a swastika, opened fire at Dollar General store in the predominantly black neighborhood of Newtown on Saturday, killing 2 men and a woman. This according to Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters. He identified the victims as Angela Michael Carr. She was 52. A.J. Laguerre, 19 years of age, and Gerald Gallion, 29 years of age. Quote, "This is a community that has suffered time and time again. So many times this is where we end up," said Jacksonville Mayor Donna Deegan. "This is something that should not and must not continue to happen in our community." Following the shooting, the gunman turned the weapon on himself and took his own life. President Biden, as reported by USA Today, mourned a shooting in Jacksonville, Florida, in which 3 people were killed, saying hate must have no safe harbor in the United States. "Even as we continue searching for answers, we must clearly and forcefully say that white supremacy has no place in America." This in prepared comments on yesterday. Out of National Pulse, the Ukraine prosecutor, Viktor Shokin, has accused the Bidens of bribery. The former Ukrainian prosecutor, Viktor Shokin, believes that he was fired as a result of President Joe Biden's pressure on the Ukrainian government and says that Biden and his son Hunter were accepting Ukrainian bribes in connection with Burisma, the Ukrainian holdings firm for which Hunter Biden and his former best friend, Devon Archer, acted as executives. Shokin was fired in 2016 by then Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko. He told Fox News in an interview with Brian Kilmeade Saturday evening, quote, "I have said repeatedly in my previous interviews that Poroshenko fired me at the insistence of then Vice President Biden because I was investigating Burisma. There were no complaints whatsoever, no problems with how I was performing my job, but because pressure was repeatedly put on then Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko, this is what ended up in him firing me," said Shokin. The GOP has gotten a strong message from Donald Trump. This from Newsmax. In a Sunday post on Truth Social, Donald Trump called on House Republicans to commence an impeachment inquiry, accusing President Joe Biden of engaging in corrupt activities. The Republicans in Congress, though well-meaning, keep talking about an impeachment inquiry on crooked Joe Biden. Look, the guy got bribed, he paid people off, and he wouldn't give $1 billion to Ukraine unless they got rid of the prosecutor. Biden is a stone-cold crook. The text went on, quote, "You don't need a long inquiry to prove it. It's already proven. These lowlifes impeached me twice, I won, and indicted me 4 times for nothing. Either impeach the bum or fade into oblivion," said President Trump. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has thus far refrained from committing to an impeachment vote or outlining a potential timeline for action. For her part, 2024 presidential candidate Nikki Haley is warning about a future Vice President Harris presidency. This from Fox News. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley blasted the prospect of Vice President Kamala Harris becoming a commander-in-chief if Democrats walk away with a win in 2024. She warned Fox News anchor Maria Bartiromo on Sunday. The notion should, quote, "send a chill up every American's spine," unquote. The former South Carolina governor, in her appearance, cautioned against electing former President Donald Trump, who faces multiple indictments and looks at a series of lengthy and distracting legal battles. Elsewhere in politics, this having to do with our schools, The Hill reports that 2024 GOP candidates are calling for the end of the Department of Education. Multiple Republican presidential candidates made it clear this week's debate that the Department of Education is in danger if any of them are elected. Let's shut down the head of the snake. The Department of Education, said Vivek Ramaswamy, take that $80 billion, put it in the hands of parents across this country. Conservatives see the department, which has more than 4,400 employees, and in its current form dates back to 1979, after the first being established in 1867, as a prime example of Washington meddling in American lives. Out of the states, in Colorado, a Colorado public school diversity teacher said in private emails she was struggling with the urge not to, quote, burn things down, unquote, which did not represent equity. Those things that did not represent her beliefs should be burned down. This, according to records reviewed by Fox News. Casey Menninger is a diversity teacher in the Jefferson County Public School District's Foster K through 8 school. Menninger was involved in crafting curriculum for other teachers to present to their class. Menninger wanted classes to be focused on, quote, bad things done by white people. Also out of Colorado, from Fox News, a Marxist teacher from Colorado who called for a forceful cultural revolution against whiteness was voted in by Democrats to fill an open state House of Representatives seat over the weekend. Tim Hernandez was selected as a state representative for the Denver area on Saturday by a committee of Democrats tasked with filling the vacant seat after its incumbent, Serena Gonzalez Gutierrez, was elected to the Denver City Council. Hernandez worked at Aurora West Preparatory Academy in the Aurora Public School District, this according to a website from May. Their staff list has since been scrubbed. It was unclear if he continues to work in the Colorado district. A sign in his classroom called for, quote, dismantling white systems. Fox News reports that Hawaiian officials are attributing the case of catastrophic wildfires to alleged failures from the state's main power utility company and downed power lines this week after Democrats blamed the disaster on global warming. In a lawsuit filed Thursday of last week, the government of Maui County, Hawaii, alleged Hawaiian Electric Company, HECO, and its subsidiaries failed to properly power down live electrical equipment amid a red flag windstorm earlier this month. Due to this failure, downed power lines operated by the utility company sparked a series of deadly fires on the island, according to the lawsuit. The lawsuit also alleges that the defendants acted negligently by failing to power down their electrical equipment despite a National Weather Service red flag warning on August 7th. This from Maui County in a release announcing the lawsuit. Elsewhere in state news out of Texas, this from Newsmax. The Navy SEAL who gained fame when he publicly claimed to have been the person who killed Osama bin Laden has been arrested in Frisco, Texas. Robert J. O'Neill, the 47-year-old former member of SEAL Team 6, was arrested in Frisco, charged with misdemeanor assault and public intoxication. This according to a report from the New York Post over the weekend. Out of politics, the Biden alcohol czar may have a message for beer drinkers. This from Fox News. President Biden's alcohol czar says Americans may be told by officials to have no more than 2 beers per week. The director of the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, the NIAAA, George Koob, told the Daily Mail on Thursday the U.S. may follow Canada's footsteps on alcohol guidelines. Currently, American guidelines recommend that men limit themselves to 2 drinks per day, while women should only have 1. The American recommendations are up for review in 2025. Speaking of Canada, this also from Fox News. Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly reportedly stated in an interview that Canada has been working on a, quote, game plan, unquote, for the outcome of America's upcoming presidential elections. Joly was first elected to represent the Ahuntsic-Cartierville region of Canada in the House of Commons in 2015. Since then, she has risen to become Canada's foreign affairs minister and has been named a young global leader by the World Economic Forum. In late 2022, a piece in Politico speculated that Joly, as a Trudeau protege, might one day have his job, and has come up with a formulation just in case America elects what they call an authoritarian presidential regime. Out of sports, USA Today, the Little League World Series. When it mattered most, Luis Lappy shined like a major league star. In a tie game in the final inning, the Little League World Series championship game, the El Segundo, California shortstop connected to send the ball past the left field wall for a walk-off home run to win the title in a moment that will last his lifetime. It was a thrilling end to another magnificent tournament in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, as Curaçao came back from a 4-run deficit in the top of the fifth inning with a grand slam to tie the game at 5 apiece. But ultimately, California held off Curaçao 6-5, August 27th, to put an end to the thrilling 11-day tournament. Also, gymnast Simone Biles has won her 8th USA Gymnastics title. She's still on top after a decade. The gymnastics star won her record 8th U.S. championship last night, 10 years after she first ascended to the top of her sport as a teenage prodigy. Biles is now 26. She's a newlywed, considered perhaps the greatest gymnast of all time. Posted an all-around 2-day total of 118.40, 4 points clear of runner-up Shalise Jones. Florida junior Leanne Wong claimed third, bolstering her chances of making a third straight world championship team. Biles is all but assured of returning to the gym, where she captured her first world title in 2013 over the course of 2 electric nights at the SAP Center, the SAP Center. She served notice that after a 2-year break following the Tokyo Olympics in gymnastics, there is one referred to as the GOAT, and then there is everyone else. And finally, in the front page today, the great Bob Barker has passed away. He spent 35 years as the MC of The Price is Right. Bob Barker changed only one appreciable way. He stopped dyeing his hair in the early 1990s, 2 decades into the game show's long and storied run. Nearly everything else about Barker, his tanned and lithe looks, his avuncular ease with contestants, his witty rapport with the audience remained the same. Even the CBS set where Price is Right had been taped 5 times a week beginning in 1972 didn't change much. The same mustard, avocado, tangerine color scheme. The same Smithsonian-worthy showdown wheel. Barker died at the age of 99, according to his publicist, Roger Neal. It is with profound sadness that we announce the world's greatest MC who ever lived, Bob Barker, has left us. Neal said Saturday in a statement provided to USA Today. Barker died of natural causes in his longtime Hollywood Hills home, according to publicist Neal. That is the front page for Monday, August 28th, 2023.